Hi class, my name is Ms. Rivera. I know you're all excited to learn about the different career options today, so I'll get started with telling you about myself. What I would like to start off with is a question. When you think of careers, what comes to your mind?
What you like to do?
That's right! Thinking about what you like to do is another way of thinking about your purpose. What I like to do is help children and their families. That's how I started thinking about what I wanted to do with my life. I'm sure we all have a lot of activities we enjoy doing. When I first began thinking about my purpose and what I enjoyed doing, I was overwhelmed by all the options that I had because I like so many things. I would see someone like a firefighter or a fashion designer or a video game developer, and I would think, oh wow, that's so cool, maybe I want to try that. After enrolling in my NSC class freshman year of college, I learned that just because something looks fun and cool doesn't mean you want to do it for the rest of your life. After taking a series of tests in this class on a site called MyPlan, I really began to see how my natural talents weeded out the careers that didn't necessarily support all of my personal strengths. I listed out what I like to do, and then I started making goals for myself. What I do as a social welfare worker is improve the social and psychological functioning of children and their families. Most social workers are based in an office, but we often travel to different schools and clients to see students and children. We often volunteer at daycares, child centers, camps, and other children-focused associations. It is also our responsibility to notify families about issues their child may be having and refer them to other services. My long-term personal goal is to become more of a positive thinker. My long-term career and academic goal is to always search for new things to learn. I don't want to shut out any information I could learn, because if I'm not learning, that means I'm not growing. Wanting to be a positive thinker ties me back to one of my MyPlan themes. As a relator, I gravitate towards people I already know rather than branching out. While I'm not against meeting and interacting with new people, the thought of someone not liking me as soon as they meet me can often hold me back. Recently, I've been overcoming these negative thoughts by stopping myself from looking at only the negative aspects of a situation. Taking time to remind myself that everyone is nervous when they meet new people, and to not let fear hold me back from making new connections. A positive mindset is important for any career, and practicing positive thinking has saved me many headaches. Wanting to exceed and push myself forward in my academics and career mirrors my developer assessment result. Being a developer means that I see the potential in everyone, which includes myself. I can see so much potential that in fact it's all I see. No one is truly done growing, and there's always room for improvement and growth on any task I take on. My final MyPlan theme that ties me back to my goals is being a relator. As a welfare worker, this will be helpful in getting to know and learning about a situation from a child. The developer in me, as I mentioned earlier, wants to push my children to overcome their obstacles and shoot to go further and not let anything hold them back. My number one theme that I haven't mentioned yet, empathy, is my capability to sense the emotions of those around me. This means I can easily put myself in someone else's shoes and share their perspective. This doesn't mean that I feel pity or condone the choices each person makes, but I can understand. My instinct to anticipate what others may need to hear and answer unvoiced questions is great. I feel this is really important when interacting with young children, such as yourselves, especially. For an investigative person, learning is a lifelong exercise. According to MyPlan, I take interest in complex things and enjoy problem-solving abstract problems where others may find them tedious and draining. I can agree with these results because questions that may not always have a clear answer give me a greater feeling of accomplishment when I can solve them. This is why I truly feel like all my strengths align with what I do for a living. After further understanding my goals and strengths, it was time to choose my major. Since Valencia does not have an area of study for social work, I had to change my major to General Studies AA. And in my NSC class, I planned my full 2 years, semester by semester. And when at Valencia, I had the opportunity to interview a teacher from my first academy. She gave me insight on how it was working with children and what exactly teachers focus on when teaching children. I also had the chance to speak with my academic advisor, and he gave me some great advice on what exactly I would have to do to get where I am today. And tuition was $605,000. I graduated Valencia with an AA in General Studies. After Valencia, I transferred to UCF. In order to graduate, I had to complete 24 semester hours or 32 quarter hours in a theory of human behavior. I had to complete an 8-hour laws and rules course, and a 3-hour HIV and AIDS course, and a 2-hour domestic violence course from a board-approved provider within 6 months of my licensure. I also completed an internship at CGA Behavioral Services. The supervision experience consisted of at least 1,500 hours providing psychotherapy face-to-face with clients in under 100 weeks in order to get my licensure. Tuition was $12,736. And after all the schooling, I definitely think the journey was worth it. I now work with many schools in the area and help more and more families each year. Although I'm only 8 years into my career, I truly feel like I've made my mark and that I'm using my talents and strengths in the most efficient way. Thank you for having me, everyone.
Thank you, Teacher Lamb.